Colombia, South America is the kidnap capital of the world. About 3,000 locals are abducted here a year. Filipinos and Mexicans face the next highest risks of being kidnapped in their own country. But in every country, the preferred targets are traveling Americans.
Almost anyone could be vulnerable, regardless of your financial status, your ability to pay the ransom. There is a perception that Americans, and to somewhat lesser degree Europeans, are good targets.
Gary Nesner is chief of the FBI's Crisis Negotiation Unit. When American kidnapped victims ask for United States intervention, his unit responds.
We've done about 150 in the last 10 years. These range from Americans who are simply tourists to oil and exploration workers who are out in the jungles in South America or the Philippines. Missionaries, Americans, are very vulnerable throughout the world. We had some Americans kidnapped hiking in the Himalayas some years ago, and in fact, an American lost his life in that. We had one man take his daughter to the Galapagos as a high school graduation gift, and then while they were in the rainforests in Ecuador, he was kidnapped.
That father and daughter were avid wildlife watchers. For them, a tour through the rainforest, led by a reputable travel company, was irresistible. 3 days, a comfortable lodge, a jungle to explore.
We were swinging on vines, doing a lot of photography. But I saw these three men come around the curve in bare-topped, each with a weapon, and each with dark pants and boots on. Looked kind of ominous to me. And I stepped aside, and a couple of them went by me. And the other one with a pistol came up and he said, "No, I'm not going by you. You move up." We were thoroughly searched. They took wedding rings off from people. They took earrings. They took watches.
Valuable surrendered John Heidema thought the bandits would leave. Then he learned what they really came to take.
They wanted a North American. They wanted an American citizen. They felt that those kind of people had money and they wanted to negotiate for real money.
The American they chose was Heidema's teenage daughter. This triggered a severe asthma attack.
She was rolling on the ground and she got up, and I'm telling her she could manage this, and she was screaming. And I told her to calm down, it'll be all right, etc. And she said under her breath, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing."
The kidnappers were fooled. The daughter seemed too sick to march through the jungle.
And he looked at everybody and he thought about it for 20 seconds, and he said, "Well, John, I guess you're it." He reached my hand and I pulled me up. We were sitting down there. We were out of there 4 minutes later.
For days, the three gunmen forced Heidema ever deeper into the jungle. At night, they slept in makeshift camps.
Nobody can believe that it's actually happening to you, and you're stuck here and you're in the jungle. I remember I was having normal dreams and waking up to this unreal situation. It's a strange reversal of environments from night to day.
Heidema calmed himself by focusing on the jungle's natural beauty. On day 4, even this was taken away.
We were crossing a stream on a log, and I was reaching down to get balance, and I was looking downward. My glasses weren't on too tight, and they went down into 5 feet of muddy water. They were never to be seen again.
Glasses lost, vision impaired. Heidema weighed his chances for escape.
If you're in a stable situation, do you want to create an unstable situation when there are men around with guns? No. It's dangerous. An escape attempt is dangerous.
The very nature of the jungle worked against him.
People didn't come into the camp, didn't leave the camp without being noticed, because there was too much noise. There's dry leaves, all kinds of stuff. And Nobody could come or go without being known, except when it rained. When it rained, there was a lot of rattle and rumble.
On day 12, Haidema got the rainstorm he needed. His captors hunkered under rain tarps, trying to stay dry.
And I got down on all fours and down flat, and I just worked on my elbows out of there during this rainstorm. I found my way out, and I started walking and running.
Haidema ran 2 miles to a small town. But nature had been cruel. The downpour stopped just after he'd left. The kidnappers quickly noticed and alerted their web of allies. The pale stranger was recaptured within hours.
They talked about killing me. 3 guys there said, if we've got to kill this guy, could you kill this guy? And the 3rd guy basically was saying, well, I wouldn't want to, but if it came to that, I could do it.
To keep him secured, they moved Haidema from the open jungle to this elevated hut near the town Lago Agrio. The kidnappers still had not sent a ransom note or picked an amount. A local could bring a few $1,000s for Haidema, an American. They wanted $1.5 million. The note was sent. 2 weeks later, on day 38, the kidnappers received a reply.
It was probably 4:45 in the morning, just before dawn, and there's this racket and men yelling and saying, "Polizia, polizia," and people charging up the stairs to the 2nd-story hut. And then there's gunfire. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ecuadorian military, acting on a tip, had tracked his location. The rescue mission was violent. Every kidnapper shot dead.
I'm certainly glad, happy to be free from captivity.
Haidema was unharmed and lucky. Rescue attempts often hurt or kill hostages. This is what happened to Americans Martin and Gracia Burnham in 2002. On vacation for their 18th wedding anniversary, they were kidnapped in the Philippines. The ransom? $300,000.
This is no way to live. There's no way to take care of yourself.
The Burnham family raised the money. The ransom was paid. Then the kidnappers wanted more.
We want to come home. Our condition is that we're not happy here.
Last night I woke up with severe chest pains, and there's nothing you can do.
After almost a year of stalemate, the local military felt out of options. They launched a gun battle rescue. Gracia was wounded, her husband killed.
There were several times when that artillery was going off, I told Martin, I am officially again saying goodbye to you. And it's been great. And I just tell him, you know, I'm glad we had a good marriage. I said goodbye many times.
The Burnham tragedy underscores the dilemma of kidnap resolution: ransom or rescue. Rescues are dangerous. Paying a ransom involves less violence but encourages more kidnappings. That's why the U.S. has a strict policy against paying, and why many Americans would be shocked to know what the FBI knows.
Most of these situations are resolved through the payment of ransom. The U.S. government will not pay a ransom, but if a family or a corporation chooses to do so, we don't then necessarily withdraw our investigative interest.
In fact, so many ransoms are paid, a lucrative industry has emerged to help victims negotiate with the criminals.
We've been very busy. We've handled, in the last 8 years, we've handled 320 kidnapping extortion incidents worldwide.
Sean McWeeny served 24 years in the FBI. Then, in 1991, he started his own company, Corporate Risk International. It specializes in negotiating hostage releases.